Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Noodles at Noon, the show that focuses on things that are not worth focusing on. My ancestors came over on the Mayflower, just so you know, because it's Thanksgiving. And that's my applicable fact about myself. I'm Ben. And I'm joined, as always, by the Kirk Cameron of Christian movie review making. It's Noah.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Hope you don't get left behind.
Ooh, and I don't think you're talking about the Nick Cage version.
I'm Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. And our special guest... Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Our special guest this week, he's the Marie Kondo of PC building, virtual PC building, that is. It's Michael.
That's right. I find what sparks joy. I helped Ben, I believe it was Wednesday night, something like that.
Dude,
I helped him
spoilers.
For 4.5 hours. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Have you
I helped him for 4.5 hours. I Marie Kondo'd his PC.
You can't just spoil.
And now we're into weekly updates. Ben, let's hear about your weekly update.
Oh, I'm listed last. Okay, I guess I have no control over my podcast anymore. Okay.
Your podcast? What happened to Noah? I thought he was your equal.
And Noah's podcast.
Yeah.
Oh no. I have no control over our mutual podcast anymore.
There you go.
We're going to talk about this later. Off air.
No.
Not in front of Michael.
It was a slip.
Not in front of the kid.
not in front of the kids, Noah. Not in front of the kids. I thank
Mom
you so
and Dad,
much for
don't
joining.
Fight.
Oh
don't
no,
fight,
this has
Mom
gone
and
off
Dad.
the rails. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're doing happy, healthy, and well. My co-hosts are talking over me, and I'm scared. I guess we are going straight into the weekly updates this week. So yeah, I built a PC, and Michael helped me. I think Michael has much more he wants to talk about that.
For 4.5 hours, I sat here in this chair, and Ben said, "Hey, do you want to help me?" And I was like, "Okay, fine." So I'm sitting here in this chair for roughly 4.5 hours, which I found out, I'm not going to reveal names, but there was some guy named, starts with a J. His name starts with a J. And
Jesus?
he was there with us. Where
He's
two are
always
gathered,
with us.
he is in the midst or something. But I found out that the chair I'm sitting in is retailed right now at $700. So I was sitting in a $700 chair this entire time, and I didn't even know it. But regardless, that's what kept my back feeling great, my legs feeling great, as I helped Ben try to point out things through a computer screen and taught him how to short a circuit in order to get his PC working. And the reason I'm the Marie Kondo is he sent me a picture of the progress, and I saw some droopy cables. And I said, Ben, that's a droopy cable. We gotta fix that. So he fixed it. I am the Marie Kondo of PC building because I found what sparked joy in his PC life.
Those cables don't spark joy. Get them out. Do you really need those cables?
Yep. Wireless everything. Wireless power. What that was Edison was trying to do wireless power, I think.
That was Tesla, not Edison.
Oh, it was Tesla. Dang it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
he built the giant thing and was going to transmit power around the world, but you can't do that, Tesla. You just can't. That was my weekly update.
You the world.
Michael, what's your weekly update?
How's the PC running, Ben?
It's
I
going
wanna know
great.
more.
No, I have it connected right now. It's running both monitors well. I have my audio recorder pulled up. I have everything pulled up I need. Normally, my laptop would be doing all that work, but now I have this PC, which works so much better, and I'm happy to have it. And thank you so much, Michael, for helping me. Thank you, Noah. You were there for part of it as well.
Just to hang out. He was there for support. It was good, though.
I was there for like 2 hours.
Give him the credit he deserves.
Yeah, I was there for most of it.
What was his contribution other than hanging out?
That is true. I didn't contribute anything. I was actually also working on a web development project. So I just had them up like in the corner of the screen, and I'd occasionally like say something snarky. And that's all I contributed to the whole night. But it was awesome. I had a great time. I felt like I hung out with friends. So I had a good time.
Until I got... Apparently, it's much harder to build a computer than I anticipated. So towards the end, I was starting to get grouchy. So I do apologize for my grouchiness, but
Well, it
I
was
do
getting
appreciate
late
all of
because
your
we
guys'
spent
help.
until like 10:45 p.m. doing it,
was,
and I think
yeah.
just at that point with anything, you kind of just get a little bit short. And I didn't feel that you were getting grouchy, and I don't know if I got grouchy either. But it was
didn't
just
get
getting
grouchy.
late in the night. So
I had
thanks,
work in
but-
the morning. Yeah.
You
It was
just learned how to feed a snake. We
I
have
did,
to mention
yeah.
that.
I'm taking care of my brother was on the episode a few weeks ago. He talked about reptiles a lot. He owns quite a few reptiles. And one of those reptiles that he owns is a snake, a children's python named Juju. It's a very sweet snake. So I'm told. I've never held it because I'm not a big fan of snakes. But he taught me how to feed it, which involves taking frozen mice out of the freezer and putting them in hot water so they can thaw. And then you use some tongs and hold the dead mouse that has been thawed with some tongs, and the snake then strikes the dead mouse and wraps it up, constricts it. I can't speak because
Excuse me? Are we gonna have to censor that?
No, we're not gonna have to censor that. I just don't like feeding snakes, but thankfully I won't have to do it until Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to me. I get to feed a snake.
It was just awesome because Michael and I were like on the call too, listening to Ben talk to his brother, and you could just see Ben's face just freaking out as
It was
Andrew's
nasty.
demonstrating how to feed a mouse to a snake. It was awesome. Again, I had very little invested in this whole night. I was just a bystander, just enjoying all the conversations, and it was really fun.
It was nasty. It was super nasty. I didn't enjoy it at all. Well, at least the snake part of it. I enjoy the PC part of it. So thank you again. Yeah, and it's working very well, and I'm very pleased with it. So that's my weekly update. Michael, you're up next.
Yeah, we also owe some thanks to our friend who begins with a J because he helped out a lot
Jesus?
with some certain things. You keep going there, but absolutely that. But second, our other friend.
I'm pretty sure he'd be fine if we use his name. It's James.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I ask permission typically. So there
I
you go.
normally
Well,
do too, but it's
Jaime.
James.
So
He wants to be on the show, so.
He
Get
does?
him.
Has he ever listened? That's a
Yes, he
requirement.
has.
hey, that's a step ahead.
That's more than my brother did. I can call out my brother as much as I want because he never listens.
It's true.
And he's your brother.
I know.
Well, I'm continuing the tradition of never having one thing because I didn't do anything this week other than what we just mentioned. But I did just find a gray hair, and it was white. It wasn't even gray. It was just straight up white. So I had a white hair, and I just took that out because I don't want to be aging yet. I'm going to reverse my aging once I get old enough or something.
What?
I don't know. But I played a game this week, since I've had nothing to do, called the Turing Test. And this is a game on Steam, and it's a puzzle game, and it's kind of discount Portal. The storyline is even discount Portal-y. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are multiple endings, and I accidentally got the worst one, I think.
Oh, no.
But regardless, the game is probably about 6 hours for you people out there. It's also kind of a newer game, so your mileage may vary. I don't know if it's on consoles, but that was fun. And then this week, I ended up taking a trip out to Noah to drop off something. So I drove out there, almost got sideswiped by a guy getting a COVID test, and I continued over to Noah's, dropped off the thing, ran away from the door like a ding-dong ditch, and then Noah picked up the stuff I had to drop off, and then we had a discussion about my involvement with helping my parents install under-cabinet lighting. And at that point, we discovered I am an amateur electrician, guys. I'm an amateur electrician.
Congratulations.
I'm messing with semi-high voltage wiring and making it work in ways that out of the box it's not supposed to work. But the lighting looks great, I think. My parents like it. And we even have an LED strip for those RGB, just like Ben's computer. We've got RGB in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
And
that's
those are
nice.
my update. I know, it does look good, though. It's tasteful.
It's
But
tasteful
those are my updates.
RGB.
You don't have like a rainbow RGB in your kitchen?
I should get it to strobe like super fast. That would be amusing.
That That's like the perfect Thanksgiving Day aesthetic. Is just strobing cabinets when you're cutting up the turkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking before I got on this call with Jesse about getting RGB lighting for these. I have one lamp in this room. I've moved. I'm back upstairs. I'm no longer in my cave basement. I took over the prison room. I took out the mattress and put my desk in here. And I have one lamp to keep me company. And I was telling her I really want to get like some RGB lights so I can like turn the whole room purple when I want. But RGB lighting is really expensive for like 60-watt bulbs. So never mind.
I feel like your only option's really Philips Hue, and then that's super expensive because you have to do the hub, and then you can't just get like a few bulbs. You have to buy one of their kits or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They've got the marketing ploy down, but it's not very consumer friendly to people that just want a few things.
Yeah, because then how often am I gonna want
Right.
green bulbs in my desk area? Like,
Constant.
how practical is that?
Yeah.
really?
Why wouldn't you want that?
Now, Ben, you
You're
bring
right.
up a good point. Thank you.
Yeah. I feel like that was a very well-reasoned argument from me. Just
I can't argue with it. So
No, you can't.
yeah.
Well, you could put them in like your street lamp. And you know how like people have the bracelets for get-togethers nowadays where green is like you can come talk to me, whatnot. Yellow's like keep your distance and wear a mask, and red is wear a mask, stay 12 feet away from me, and please don't look my direction. In
That's
which
just
case,
my lifestyle anyway,
I
though.
was gonna say, that's just what Michael
Even
does at all
pre-COVID.
get-togethers. Michael was using the red bracelet before this even started. He just always has it on. But you could do that. You could do that with like your street lamp. You just set it for green. Is like, yeah, come on over. Yellow is we can talk through the door, and red is I'm home, but I'm trying to pretend to not be home. So please don't knock on my door, or else I might cry.
That was Michael and I when we saw each other, just 12 feet apart, trying to avoid eye contact, but still talking. Like still,
I'd say
still
that's
making
like
a friendship.
That's like a yellow situation. That's not a red situation.
How about orange?
How could it be more red than that? Like, would I have to drive up in my car up to his front door and
No,
then get a
red
police
is-
megaphone?
Red is you would see that it's red and just turn around and leave.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
In which case you've made this drive for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
I could have just left it ding dong ditched and actually booked it to my car, but after I rang the doorbell and got to my designated probably like 15 feet away, Jesse just opened the door. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready.
I wasn't prepared for this.
I need to stop breathing, please.
Well, okay.
Human
so
interaction.
Now I'm seeing the fact that you need two lights on your porch, one for Jesse and one for Noah. Because
Jesse's like, yeah, come on in.
Jesse,
come
yeah,
over. And
you
I'm just
can.
like,
I'm
do not
happy
talk
to
to me.
you.
I'm in the basement. That's true. Well, my week, yeah, I mean, as we've talked about, we're all pretty much staying home right now and working from home and all of that. So I had the opportunity to just do some kind of random projects today. I'm finishing up some client work. Just finished a new website, which I'm pretty excited about. So my reward to myself for working from home is I went and bought a coffee maker because I love drip brew coffee. Like it's just, I don't know, just plain basic drip brew coffee. I went and bought a $25 coffee machine. So not a Keurig, not anything fancy, just a regular cheap Mr. Coffee, and brought it home, made a cup of coffee this morning and took a few sips of it, and it tasted like burnt plastic, like very strongly of burnt plastic. So I started doing some research, and it sounds like it's a pretty common occurrence in a lot of different coffee makers, not just the Mr. Coffee I had. But they say, oh, it's because of the BPA in the coffee maker just leaching into the water. And sure enough, like all coffee makers are not BPA free, like none of them, which I never knew. I was living in blissful ignorance this whole time. But anyway, so I read like if you run vinegar and water through it, you can kind of get the taste and the smell out.
Oh boy.
So
I think,
and
so try it Tuesday this week. You're going to do a vinegar coffee, right?
yeah, vinegar coffee.
Nice.
It'll be really good. It's bad. It's very bad.
Oh, okay.
But in addition, the other thing I was doing today was, Ben, you had to make 40 DVDs this week, like 40 copies of a DVD for
I
a
still
video
have
project
to make
you
40
did.
copies of a DVD.
So I volunteered to help out with that. So I went over to Ben's house and he threw a DVD at me from across the field.
Mm-hmm.
So we maintained our distance. And so I got the DVD and I told him, yeah, I'll make some copies for you this week. So I have been going back and forth today between burning DVDs and running vinegar through the coffee maker. And it's just, each one is about
And
like a 15-minute
burning
process.
coffee.
So yeah, burning
Burning
DVDs and
coffee.
burning coffee. So my day has just been going upstairs to dump out the coffee, pour more vinegar and water in and start the coffee maker, and then going downstairs and swapping out the DVDs. It's been a crazy day. Ben, I ended up corrupting 4 of the DVDs. So, yeah, 4 of them are just gone beyond
Nice.
recovery. But I did.
I love it when that happens.
4 whole carafes of vinegar and water. Then I did soap and water. Then I did 3 just water. And then I made coffee. And the coffee tasted pretty good.
Ooh. We'll take pretty
So
good.
it worked. It
So I thought
somewhat
you-
worked.
I thought you
It's-
didn't drink coffee because it gives you shakes. Is that just caffeine coffee?
That's me.
Because that'd be my guess. Oh, I thought someone couldn't even drive because coffee had
No, that's-
detrimental.
That's true, yeah. I can drink decaf. I only drink
Okay.
decaf.
Okay.
Oh, that's both of us. Never mind then.
But I did go on a forum to like see like other people that were having this problem, and I learned that people who drink coffee, they're all snobs. All of them. Like severe snobs.
Ooh.
This guy was just like, "Hey, I bought a drip brew
don't endorse
Mr.
this
Coffee." I bought a drip brew Mr. Coffee. It's kind of got a plasticky taste. What would you recommend? And not a single person answered the question. Everybody was like, well, you need to buy this specific Italian coffee maker, and you can only make espresso. Anything else is garbage coffee. French press coffee is garbage coffee. And then someone else was like, no,
Ooh.
drink pure Assam tea. That's the only good thing you can drink. Everything else is just wrong. And, oh, you disgust me with your drip brew. And so, I don't know. I felt like I was in the wrong place.
So let's take that statement you made earlier and reframe it a bit so we don't get angry emails. Everyone who posts on coffee forums are snobs.
I'll accept that. Yeah. If you're on
Okay.
a coffee forum, yeah, you're a snob. Like, what else is there to say?
That's for like any like forum that people can go on for any like specific hobby or anything. There's gonna be some snobbishness going on, or
Yeah.
I'm better than you, or I'm smarter than you on forums, because that's what forums are for. They're not.
That
they're
is
not,
so true.
Yeah, they're not for productivity or answering questions. They're just for people who think they know more.
Yeah, they're not for helping people by any
No,
means.
not at all. Well,
Yep.
I'm glad that your coffee is finally tasting better, and I hope the DVDs give you less trouble. And make sure you request Venmo for how much you want me to give you for this entire service you're performing for me.
Will do.
Awesome. Michael, I think you have a response from last week pulled up for us.
That's correct. Last week, I called out Zach F. for his egregious use of Chrome tabs and having several Chrome tabs open when we were hanging out on a couch in college back when that was a thing. So Zach F. left us that voicemail, and here it goes now.
I thought I'd leave a message responding to Michael and everybody. I I'm not as bad as Noah's dad. It sounds like he just keeps opening tabs and doesn't close them. I close tabs after I'm done using them, but the reason I have so many tabs, or used to have so many tabs open, is because I would just click open a new tab to investigate for later, and then I would forget about it, but I would leave the tabs open as a reminder. Obviously that didn't work because I still had so many tabs open, but I now use one tab. So all of my tabs that were open just get put into one area, one space under one tab. So currently I only have the one tab open, which is always open. And then I have the current tab that I'm using to record this message, and then YouTube, which I'm about to upload a video for school. Also, I do not use Safari and Google Chrome at the same time and keep them open. Michael, I don't use Safari anymore. It's total garbage. But I also am going to keep the actual number a secret, but the number of tabs I had open was much, much, much more than 27. And I'll just leave it at that.
He's changed his ways, guys. He's changed his ways. He's using one tab, which helps him just hide the immense amount of tabs that he has open. But
He's
Zach,
turned
thanks
over
for
a
calling
new
in.
leaf.
That's
He's
true.
a new man. I'm proud
We're
of
getting
Zach.
there.
I've never met him, but I'm really proud of him.
He has a voice fit for the podcast. He could replace me.
I was thinking about why do you keep bringing up people who can replace you? Do you not want to be on the...
It sounds like you guys don't want me to be here.
No, we love
Can I
having you
rewind?
here.
I'm going to rewind to the beginning of the show. Here's my impression of Ben. Hey, this is my podcast.
Okay. Okay, hold up. First of all, not what I said. Second of all, I don't sound like that.
You sound like Pog Rape.
What? I sound like what?
Oh, you weren't a VeggieTales guy. Pog
Rape.
Rape. He was a VeggieTales character.
Oh yeah. I have a VeggieTales story for another time. Zach, thank you so much for leaving that review. If you want to say anything to us, you can do it over SpeakPipe. You can go to noodlespodcast.com.
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 Ooh, that was an interesting echo. You can go there, go to the contact us, and find SpeakPipe, and you can just tell us anything, but we typically have a question of the week, and I kind of wanted to float this one to the group before I floated it to the SpeakPipe question, but something that often comes up as an argument at my place of work is the fact that I am a big fan of Hallmark Christmas movies. And
Oh, no.
no, I understand, but that's what we're getting to. I understand that they're not good. They're not good movies, but everyone at work is like obsessed with The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. And I argue the point that the reason they like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette is the same reason I like Hallmark Christmas movies. It's just Hallmark Christmas movies are generally like more wholesome than The Bachelorette. Right? But like it's the same sort of deal where it's like it's not good. You're kind of just watching it to make fun of it. Does that make sense, everybody?
I think you're asking the wrong group of people because I have not seen one entire Hallmark Christmas movie except, well, I've seen fragments when I visited you like last year around this time. And I've maybe seen a few episodes of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette in my youth when it was on TV. But I haven't paid attention to it.
Another thing to note is that during this time of year, Hallmark is on 24/7 at my house. It never turns off.
Oh, no.
I wake up in the morning, Hallmark Christmas movies.
Feeling
I go to
like
bed at
P.
night.
Diddy? Oh, sorry.
It's not
Candace
even
Cameron Brown.
thanks-
I know it's not Thanksgiving.
Hey, that's Kirk Cameron's sister.
I know. She's in like all the Hallmark Christmas movies.
It's okay. Yeah, I have never seen The Bachelorette or The Bachelor, so I can't really speak to that. I agree with what you're saying about Hallmark Christmas movies being more wholesome.
Well, yeah.
As we were talking about before this podcast started, it used to be my job, like my high school job, was to watch and review Christian movies, which are very similar to Hallmark Christmas movies, like low budget, very predictable, not that great, if we're being honest. And so I feel like I'm kind of burned out on the genre. Like, there's definitely a time and a place for it. So I don't know, but there is something wholesome and quaint about it's a holiday film. Holidays are supposed to be happy.
Yeah.
You know the movies, like,
Exactly.
when does a Hallmark movie ever not end happy? So
Never.
You
They
kinda
never
know what
end
you're
not
getting
happy.
into.
Exactly.
You kind of know what you're getting into, so that's not bad.
Yeah. So and like, it's the same thing with The Bachelorette. You know it's going to be a train wreck, and that's why you watch it. There's nothing new or surprising on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. So that's the Speak Pipe question of the week. You can go into your love for Hallmark movies or your love of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, or you can answer my question of me saying, I watch them for the exact same reason people will watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Besides that, something you can be on the lookout for this week. Today, which is Monday through Thursday, we are going to be posting on Instagram every single day. That's right.
Whoa.
And we're going to be doing, every single day. All of them. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Hopefully.
Thursday's a holiday.
I know, but I'm going to post then anyway.
But it's not the Sabbath. So.
It's not. We don't post on the Sabbath, obviously. But on Thursday, we're going to be conducting a giveaway. Now, it's going to be a surprise what we give away. That'll be the post on Thursday, but I will guarantee you it's a very 2020 type object that we're going to be giving away. But what you have to do is
it's a gun.
What? No, we're not giving away a gun. Why would we do that?
Especially
I'm suddenly
from this
concerned.
group of people.
Yeah. Michael, go get your guns. It's
Was that a joke?
You keep them underneath your Bible, which has the copy of the Second Amendment in it.
It does.
It's printed on the front.
Yeah.
He's not kidding. He's not
Engraved.
kidding.
No, I'm being 100% serious. His Bible, look, one of the pages just has the Second Amendment on it.
Wait, like Michael added it in, or the Bible just has it?
No,
No,
it
the
came
Bible
with
just had it.
It's a Bible for veterans, like from the VA. And I'm holding it right now. I don't remember where the Second Amendment part is, but it's I just flipped to it. The right
No
to bear
way.
arms. The Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution reads blah 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 blah. I don't know how they tie it back into. Okay, every man's life, they say, belongs to God, and to allow one's life to be taken because one failed to defend it was wrong. And then they keep going on about saying these things.
Whoever wrote
It's
that,
right in Exodus. It's right at the beginning of Exodus.
read the part that's like, he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. But
Dies by
whatever.
the sword. Anyway.
Any hoozle. So all you have to do is like every single post and be following the Noodles at Noon Instagram. That's noodles.at.noon on Instagram. If you like every single post and you follow the page, you will automatically be entered into the giveaway for our special surprise item. Now, this is our chance to say thank you for all the support you showed us the past 15 weeks, because this is episode number 15, and we can't thank you enough. So our thankfulness will be displayed on Thanksgiving as we give you a gift of thanks. Well, one of you gets a gift of thanks. We're not that rich. So make sure you do that. And yeah, thank you for listening. Hey, Michael, I
Hey.
want to play a game.
What kind of game?
A game where I guess how much people cost on Cameo would be a good one.
Are you saying Cameo Celebrity Cost Cthulhu?
Catharsicism? Yes.
Encore une fois! Cameo is a service that allows you to purchase a short video from celebrities of all popularities, and they can wish you a happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy graduation, and so on. In this game, the two guests, Ben and Noah, will go head-to-head to guess the cost of each celebrity's cameo. We are using Price is Right rules. Highest closest bid without going over wins. Today's theme is voice actors. Are you guys excited? I'm excited about this one.
I'm super excited.
It's been thought about for at least a week, so you know it's good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about the theme. I get really into voice actors and like video games, and I mean, I've always been super into audio dramas, so I'm ready. I might know some of these people actually, maybe.
Okay, here we go. We start with number one, Susan Bennett, known best for her work as the voice of the original Siri. This is before they did the millennial hipster Siri. This is like baby boomer Siri, back when she had a better voice, in my opinion. Ben, we'll start with you. How much is Susan Bennett?
Susan Bennett, the original Siri. I'm gonna guess. I'm not gonna look up how much she costs, but I have to look up something. So talk amongst yourself.
I don't trust him. Can we verify he's not cheating?
Certified.
I'm going to say to get a cameo from Susan Bennett is that's way too high. I was gonna say the price of the original iPhone, but that's $499. So I'm gonna say $75.
Okay, Ben says 75. Noah, what is your take?
Oh, Ben, my friend, my good friend. You forget. How quickly you forget. Why would anyone need a cameo of Susan Bennett when you can just make Siri say anything you want her to? So I'm thinking real low. I'm thinking $10.
Noah takes a point. $25 for Susan Bennett. And your logic is slightly flawed.
It's flawed.
I just spoke dyslexia. That was impressive. It's flawed because, again, they replaced your voice, and now it's a younger, more hip Siri voice. Which, again, I prefer the old, but whatever.
Okay.
Yes,
Boomer.
but I have an iPod Touch in my drawer somewhere that has not been updated.
There we go.
So I have access to Susan Bennett.
Round 2. David Kay, who lent his voice to Optimus Prime in the Transformers animated series. He did some Ben 10 characters, and he's Clank in Ratchet and Clank. Noah, we start with you. How much is video from David Kay?
David Kay. Is that his last name? That's not an abbreviation. It's like K-A-Y.
K-A-Y-E. Yep.
K-A-Y-E. $38.
Noah says 38. Ben, what is your guesseroo?
30. I mean,
37.
30. No, I'm not. That would be foolish. Noah, obviously, I'm going to say 39.
Oh, that cheekiness got you a point, Ben. Transform and roll out. He's $50. David Kay is $50. Round 3. This one's one of my favorites. Jess Harnell, who
I met him.
What? See,
yeah.
I knew this would go somewhere. I need to know more. Should we talk about that now or after you get the point?
After the point.
Okay. Jess Harnell, who I saw live in concert at the Animaniacs Live, and you've heard him as the voice of AFV. He's the guy that introduces the show. He's Wacko Warner and almost every voice on the potentially racist Disneyland ride Splash Mountain. He's a ton of voices on that. We'll start with Ben. How much is Jess Harnell?
Well, I don't know much about Jess Harnell.
You'll know his voice. I can guarantee you heard his voice.
Okay.
He's been in a million things.
Yeah.
Well, judging by the fact he's been in a million things, and you both seem to really like him, he probably has some sort of following that I'm just not aware of. So I'm going to say he is... I keep wanting to say William Hartnell, but that's the first Doctor from Doctor Who. He costs $125.
Okay, Ben says 125. Noah, how much is a video from Jess Harnell?
He's popular, but I think that's pushing it. I'm gonna say $30.
The garage door says Noah takes the point. He is $50 for a video. Now, we need to hear your meeting Jess Harnell story.
Well, I've been on my phone here trying to find the picture. I don't have my picture. I'll have to ask my mom, but
You never have a picture. Axe throwing, now this.
He just
none
makes
of these
stuff
I
up.
never met.
None of these happen.
It's like last time when I said I met Josh Wilson, which I also have. But so Jess Harnell, I know him chiefly as the voice of Wooten Bassett on the best radio drama of all time, Adventures in Odyssey. Has over 800 episodes now. It's a huge success. It's been around since the 80s. But he plays one of the main characters on that. So we went and saw a live show of Adventures in Odyssey back in like 2008, I want to say. And they had a line afterwards where you could meet all the actors. So I got to meet Jess Harnell. He was super, super cool. Very friendly. He signed my shirt. I have a shirt with his autograph on it. Yeah, really nice guy. Seems like a really, really chill person.
Round 4. Ashley Eckstein. Noah will know her best as the voice of
Ahsoka
Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars. How much is a video from Ahsoka Tano? Noah, we start with you, a.k.a. Ashley Eckstein. Eckstein. Berenstain Bears.
Okay, I might have to ask for this for Christmas because big Ahsoka fan, hoping she's good in The Mandalorian. Whenever that happens, if that happens, I've heard rumors.
Spoiler. That's a spoiler.
I'm gonna say $50.
Noah says 50. Ben, what do you raise?
I will say, I didn't recognize the name, but once you said Ahsoka Tano, I went on like a weird
Cameo.com and you looked it up?
No. I went on like a binge of like YouTube Star Wars The Clone Wars like fan videos of like theories and stuff. I've never watched the show, but like for whatever reason I just went on a binge of watching this. So I do know who that is. She's the one with the white lightsabers, right?
They're green. There's a green and
white.
a yellow one.
Yeah.
Who's the one with the white lightsabers?
Rey at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
That's yellow.
No. Anyway,
I don't know.
I have this like weird thing in my
she
head.
has white lightsabers in this one picture.
Yeah, she has them because you get white lightsabers when you restore a red kyber crystal. I don't know. See, this is
okay.
what I mean when I said I went on some weird binge of watching these fan videos. But anyway, I'm gonna say, what'd you say? You said 50. I think that's a bit. I'm gonna go $1. I think it's lower than 50, but I don't want to say how low.
Noah takes that one. 125. 125.
Oh, geez, I was very wrong.
Wow.
Noah,
not
I'm
getting that
I'm
for
not
Christmas.
getting. Yeah.
All right, round 5. This one is my personal favorite of the group. Troy Baker. He might be best known for his work as Joel in The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. Ben, how much is a video from Troy Baker?
Oh, good old Troy. I met him once. No, I didn't. That's a lie. Troy Baker. What was that?
James Earl Jones. I've met him before.
Yeah, I've met.
Yeah.
Great guy. Good friends. We went on a Ferris wheel together. I think this person who I've never heard of but it's Michael's personal favorite. So I'm going to go $27.
$27. Noah, what is your guess?
I think he's probably more than that. I'm going to say, but I don't want to just say 28 because I don't want to be mean. So I'm going to say 40.
Noah takes another point. Troy Baker is $65. So Noah wins 4-1. And that is the end.
That's the sort of thing you can get somebody for Christmas.
It's still a bit much. I would have
65?
preferred the FIFA sports commentator that was $6. So if anyone wants to get me that for Christmas, I would love to have a guy that I've never heard of. Until then, wish me a Merry Christmas.
I'm just thinking like for Christmas I get Jesse Joel from Last of Us, and I'm like, it's the guy that played Joel in Last of Us, and she's just like, what?
Who?
What is a Last of Us?
Well, we had this conversation at work the other day where it was like, what like reality TV show would you go on if you had the chance? And my answer was that show The Masked Singer.
Oh yeah.
And it's not because I have any like singing talent or anything or whatsoever, but just for the sole purpose of when I am eventually voted off or whatever, I can take the mask off and everyone will just be like,
Who are
Wait,
you?
Who are you? It's Ben Shoemate from Noodles at Noon podcast.
We spent the
Our
rest of
budget
our budget
went
on
way down.
Yeah.
They got like Idris Elba and Benedict Cumberbatch, and then like, oh, that was all our money. Let's get Ben Shoemate.
Let's get Ben Shoemate from that one podcast.
Favorite podcast that you've never heard.
That should be our new tagline. Your favorite podcast you've never heard.
Maybe. Rebrand. I think I lost this game. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it was definitive. You lost 4-1.
Yeah, I didn't do very well.
Well, thank you for the game, Michael. I'm very grateful for having won a game. I think it's been a few weeks since I've won a single game. I've been on a losing streak
We'll have
here.
to go back and check. I'll leave the Dennis Quaid picture at your front door, and then ding
I
dong
should've
ditch
picked
it
that
right
up.
where I. Oh, you should have.
You could have stolen it.
Yeah, man. But I wanted to interrupt our games and just take a few minutes. It is Thanksgiving this week. This is our Thanksgiving special. I'm cooking a turkey. Ben's bringing mashed potatoes. We're all bringing it to this virtual table. We're sitting around in like pilgrim costumes.
What?
Just I wanted to take a few minutes to reflect on the year that has been. It's almost the end of the year, and I think most people would generally argue that it has been a less than stellar year. I'm not here to say that's not true, because I think it is, and a lot of sad, just really hard things have happened this year. So I don't want to poo-poo that or say, let's just look at the good things. But I do want to look at some of the good things that happened this year, because I think it's important to take a few minutes to just be grateful for the things that we have, and grateful for the things that have happened. So I just wanted to open up the floor, and since it's Thanksgiving, feeling emotional, nostalgic, just grateful to be here, I wanted to talk about some things we're grateful for. So to kind of get the ball rolling, I just wanted to say that I'm very grateful for this podcast, and that it's given me a reason to get to know Ben and Michael better. I mean, Ben I've been friends with for a long time. Michael I haven't talked too much until this podcast started, but it's been really fun that we've gotten to work on this together, and it's definitely been a bright spot in my year. And thinking through that, I was also thinking about Good News Wednesdays was another bright spot in my early year.
Rest in peace, that project.
Yeah. But it feels like a million years ago, but our good friend of the show, he's one of the hosts of my podcast, Ben Shoemate.
Oh.
Back in March, April timeframe, you had it was a daily show for a while, and then a weekly show that just highlighted good news stories, kind of in the midst of all the really dark scariness that was going on in the world. And I don't know that I ever really told you, Ben, but that was something I really looked forward to every day when I was working from home and quarantined kind of by myself. It was an encouraging highlight of my day and of my Wednesdays. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, well, I thank you for saying that. That means a lot, and I'm very sorry that apparently I just stopped doing that one day.
It's because John Krasinski stole the rights, stole the project, and then sold the rights.
I don't mean to sound like dramatic, but when that happened, I was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, guess somebody else has got this now.
But you did it first.
I did. I think I beat him by like a week, and then he came out with some good news, I think, or Good News Network. I think it was Some Good News is what his was called. But that's a pleasure to hear. Thank you for saying that. I'm honored.
So what are you grateful for, Ben?
I have a lot to be grateful for now that I sit down and think about it. This podcast, obviously, it's a good way to be creative in a year that you had a lot of time to be creative. And the fact that I had a chance to be creative with friends is honestly something I'm very thankful for, because it was a good way to just stretch my mind and stretch different ways of doing things. And it's been fun. And we've done it for 15 weeks now. And honestly, that lasted longer than Good News Wednesdays. So it's been worth doing, and I really appreciate it. But honestly, all the people in my life from this past year, because you and Michael have obviously played a huge role. But a lot of people have either come into my life this year because my job, which I love very much. I love doing my job. And the people there are fantastic, so I'm very thankful for them. And they're also very supportive of my podcast. My podcast. No. Our podcast. Very supportive of our podcast. But just new and exciting relationships that have come about this year, and a bunch of stuff that when we just sit down and think about the dramaticness that has been the year 2020, a lot of stuff that gets lost in the minutia of it all, but just new relationships that have been fun. And yeah, I mean, I was able to graduate college in a pandemic, and honestly, when it comes to either that or I had to walk uphill both ways to school, I think we win in saying that we graduated in a pandemic. So just thankful for the opportunities that have come about this year.
Yeah,
I've
it has been a year of...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it has been a year of new opportunities, like new things I never would have done something like this podcast before. Yeah, other creative projects I've gotten to work on, or even just friendships I've gotten to make as a result of things that have happened this year. I'm just, it's really cool. I'm really grateful for.
With this podcast, it was Noah. Were we talking in person one day, or did you text me and you just said, "Hey, we should start a political podcast"?
Jesse said, because I think you and I were having some political discussion, and Jesse said, "You guys should start a podcast." So I texted you and said, "Hey, let's start a political podcast."
And I said no.
And I was mostly joking about starting a podcast in general, but the way I remember it, you texted me back like 4 hours later, and you had like the whole template and everything of the show like all planned out, and you're like, "Hey, can you record this Saturday?"
And then, I don't think we've ever actually talked about why the show is called Noodles at Noon.
Should we even say? I guess we can say.
Yeah. When we decided we were going to get together and talk about stuff, and one of the things we were going to talk about included this podcast, we were going to meet for lunch. This was back after the first spike, so everything seemed slightly normal. If you guys remember like those 2 days of 2020. But we were trying to figure out a time and a place to go get lunch, and Noah responded, "Noodles at Noon." And I said, "Hey, that's a great title for a podcast." And
then the rest is history.
The rest is history. Michael, what are you thankful for?
Well, I've been listening a lot to the hip-hop preacher Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas, and he's been talking about making this year into something positive as well. And I think I wasn't going to say this, but Noah warmed my heart with this beautiful talk about good news. That I think if people have listened to 15 episodes, they deserve to learn one thing about me. So here it is, guys. Get your audio tape recorders ready, everyone.
Oh wait, this is all recorded.
No, but they need to record this for posterity. After noodlespodcast.com crashes and dies, they need to save this.
Noodlespodcast.com.
There it is. But I, like Ben, graduated college. That's never been said on the show. But this year, I also got accepted into medical school, which has been a lifelong dream.
Woo!
And something I've been working my butt off to do. So I got accepted. I'm not going to say where, because I do want that amount of privacy, because saying I got accepted is still more privacy than less privacy than I wish to keep to myself. But Noah has a way of coercing people into saying things that they don't want to say, I guess.
Oh no.
It's true.
And tape recorders. Okay.
But no, that's another thing, because you've worked so hard with getting into medical school. And I know that because the past few years, we've gone to concerts and I've sat in the passenger seat and
Taught me about the pubic ramus.
yeah. Well, you taught me about it. I just read it from a textbook, and you would tell me stuff about it.
What?
It's I can't even remember what it is.
We move
It's
on. We move on.
We move on.
It's a bone.
ligament,
It's a bone.
I think,
But we
right?
move on.
Oh, bone. Ligament, bone, same thing. But no, I'm super proud of you, and you stuck with it, and that's a very admirable thing to, because I know last year was a bit tough, but after you got accepted, I called you, and you had a very good answer and talking about how you feel more prepared and you trusting God's timing with everything, and it was beautiful. So I'm very, very proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's a great example of like looking back on something and making good out of it. Like, I'm sure it was really disappointing when you didn't get into a medical school last year, but now you can kind of look back and go, okay, well, I was able to improve from that. I was able to learn more. I feel much more prepared. Like that's a big lesson I feel like I've learned this year, is just trying to look back on things and figure out how I can pull positives out of negatives. Even with some of the, just the race issues that have been brought to light in the past year. We don't talk about this kind of stuff on the show, but now I'm going there, so we have to. But like trying to figure out, okay, how can I do something positive in this? Because I got like when it all really got really bad and there were protests was when Jesse and I were on our honeymoon. And I was like reading these news articles like on the first couple days of our honeymoon and just getting really upset and impassioned about a lot of things. And so we've been like finding ways that we can help make a difference around us and help be the change we want to see in the world, as cliche as it sounds. Like just helping to change the things we can and help the people that are in need around us and the people who are just underrepresented and vulnerable. And it's been a good year of increasing my global awareness and my social awareness and kind of helping people that I wouldn't have otherwise thought about.
Yeah, no one can say that they're leaving 2020 like just this with the same amount of like views on certain topics that they came into it. It's been a lot of change in how we view things, change in how we view issues, and I mean it's tough. It's a lot of hard change. It's a lot of hard things to learn, a lot of hard things to go through, but I think for the most part it's something that we should all be thankful for because it helps give us perspective on different things we can be grateful for, but also like how we can help other people with the stuff that they deal with on a daily basis that they shouldn't deal with. And it helps bring us closer and unites us in seeing that there is change that needs to be made and the best ways that we can go about making that change. And I don't think that we're like perfect now after it, but it's definitely given us the ability to identify where we are and where we want to be and given us a more clear identity of how to get there.
That's a really good point you bring up. Like this year I'm trying to not just be grateful and recognize, wow, it's really great that I have a good family and I have a good job and all these things I'm grateful for, but also beginning to recognize that, hey, not everybody has these privileges that I have. So how can I help? How can I help change that? And how can I help other people and not just think about how grateful I am for these privileges, but make a difference to the people around me and see how I can serve others is another part of that gratitude. I also want to throw in there I got married this year, so I'm thankful for that.
That's pretty okay, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you can be grateful. I mean, you got married.
You walked into that one. So.
Which is why I can never feel like I can say, like, yeah, 2020 was a bad year. It's like, dude, you got married this year.
You got married. Someone will check you on that one real quick.
Yeah. probably Jesse, who'll be like, "Hey, why?
Hey, wait a second.
What are you talking about?"
Uh,
I don't know. Anybody else have anything to add? I wanted to take a few minutes. I think that was a good discussion.
I think it was too, and I think it's like, I mean, the tagline of our show that I say at the top of it is a show that focuses on things not worth focusing on. I think this is a little bit of stuff that deserves to be focused on, whether it's the typical things that we'll talk about on the show or not. It's always good to be thankful and identify what we're thankful for, because when we're thankful for what we have, it not only gives credit to where we are, but it also humbles us and gives us more perspective on everything that's been done for us and everything we have to be grateful for. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to do that, Noah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm grateful for you guys. This is a good podcast.
Aw,
This has been fun.
You two. I mean, by you two, I mean you both.
Wait, Michael, which
I'm
one else do
grateful
you like
for
better?
both of you as well.
Michael,
Well,
is
now
this
how do we
my
keep going after
podcast
this?
or Ben's?
I don't know whose show this is anymore.
Whose podcast is this?
It's my podcast.
Oh no, Michael has it now.
We'll put a poll out, and whoever wins.
Whose podcast is it?
Daniel will somehow win.
Daniel is. John Krasinski. Gosh darn it, again? Ah.
As a write-in. He'd just sell it.
Why is John Krasinski out to get me? Dang it, Jim. Anyway.
Jim Halpert.
Jim Halpert. Well, we did have another game scheduled, but I don't think we can top a conversation that we just had. So I think we'll leave it at that. What do you guys think?
That
That's a
sounds
good
good
call.
to me. Florida
Yeah.
can wait.
Florida can wait. Florida will still be there. Maybe. Possibly.
Maybe.
Who knows? But thank you guys so much for listening. Another thing we're very grateful for is all of you and all the wonderful feedback you give us, and for listening to 15 weeks of this now. We are so grateful because, honestly, when we started this, we didn't know if it was going to last 15 weeks, and now here we are. So here's to the next 15. 15 sounds so small now that I say, like, here's to the next 15. Here's to the next, like, fourth of a year. But thank you so much
We
for
should
being with
say
us.
we're thankful. We should say we're thankful to the people who listen to this show, because there are people that have listened to all 15 episodes, and that's kind of crazy.
I know.
That's 15 hours.
Yes, we will list them all by name. No, I'm kidding. We won't do that.
And address. Home address.
And address. But yes, make sure you go to our SpeakPipe. You can answer a question, or you can just give us a list of things you're grateful for, because honestly, we would appreciate that too. Make sure you go to our Instagram page and participate in the giveaway so you can be a part of that. And make sure you go to noodlespodcast.com
Noodlespodcast.com.
Noodles.
to
Podcast.com.
contact us for anything that you might want to let us know. And thank you so much for listening.
Cool story, bro.